Hey, we're out here back on the training lot and going to be going over a few different things today. We're going to be working with the air chisel. I'm going to be working with the cutting torch, going to be working with K12, and just doing various evolutions out here. So obviously we've got a lot of scrap metal and junk that comes our way, and we've got the source in Scotty who can get us all the scrap metal we want. So it's a good idea that we can get out here on the back lot, bring your crew up here anytime, use any of the tools on 54 if you don't have them on your truck or whatever, and just find some stuff to cut up and get good practice with this stuff. So first thing we're going to be doing today is the air cart and the air chisel. And so we're going to go over the air cart here first, and then we'll get into doing some cutting with it. So air cart is a dual purpose cart essentially. And one important thing to understand and to remember, I know we went over this when we first got it, but I forgot about it, how it worked a couple months ago when we pulled it out and had to be reminded on it. So we've got the confined space side of the cart here, and that is really the heart of what this cart is for. This is for our confined space hoses. You've got 4 hoses, 2 for two rescuers and 2 for the 2 backup guys getting ready to go in. They operate off of these 2 bottles, and you're going to operate them one at a time. So when you're doing confined space, you're going to open up one bottle. Right, you've got your low pressure bell, and that's important to remember here. We got a bell and we got a whistle. Okay, the bell is for the breathing air, just like a bell on our back, on our air packs. If you start getting a low air alarm on this, you've got guys in there, you simply turn this one off. Actually, open this one up first. Open the other one up first. Shut this one down. Now you're breathing off of the other bottle. Switch this one out, and you're just going to go back and forth with those bottles. So that's the breathing air portion of this. The over here is the tool side, and that was an option that we had put on here when we bought it. And the most important thing to remember with this is that you have to have an outside air source to run that. It's not going to run off of these 2 bottles. It's a completely separate circuit. So you can run it off of the air hose on the truck. You can bring in another bottle with the hose and hook into that, but it's completely separate. And the benefit to that is if you're using the air tools and the breathing air at the same time, you're not stealing air from your breathing air to run a tool. So it keeps it completely separate. So you're going to hook in up here to the auxiliary air inlet, and then you've got your adjustments down here. This top adjustment adjusts these 4. You can have 4 separate tools hooked up at any time, and they will all run at whatever pressure you adjust this to. You look at your specific tool and see what the operating pressure is on there. And this one is 90 psi for the cutoff tool. So just look at your individual tools and see what they say. They're usually stamped on there somewhere. This one is 90 psi for the air drill. So you're going to adjust that, whatever that pressure is. Now this one on the bottom here, that is a separate one from these 4 here, and you can actually lower the pressure here and make that even less pressure. If you have a specific tool that's lower pressure than the other ones you're using, you can do that. So that's the air cart and the operation of it. Like I said, the most important things to remember are you need an external air source for the tools. You operate 1 bottle at a time on breathing air when you're using the breathing air side. The bell is the sound for the breathing air getting low. The whistle is the sound for the tools getting low. And I think that's about it. Can you guys think of it? All right, we're going to do some air chiseling here on this hot water heater, or it's a cold water heater. Josh has the tip with the little pointer thing on the bottom here. That's the technical term for this thing here. and that's really good for doing this kind of sheet metal cutting. Obviously we have other bits in there for different purposes, so one of the biggest things with using the air chisel is getting the appropriate bit for what you're wanting to do. So we're just going to have him cut this rectangle out of here, and we got this operating at between 90 and 100 psi, and he oiled it. Important to oil that before we use it, and so take it away, Josh. You can see part of the problem that he's having here is that he took a different route there. That metal was curling up on him, and he's having a hard time getting a good bite like he did over here where he got that curl. So he just used the fork. That's the ideal way right there. There we go. He's got to cut through, and it's stuck to that insulation, so we're going to have to do a little digging to get that out of there. All right, now we're going to do some cutting with the oxyacetylene torch. We're using the bigger one out of Steve's bag because the one on the truck is so small. Don't get a whole lot of cutting time out of it. So what we're going to do here is first off review with you how to get a good cutting flame on here and get this all started up. So you want to get both your bottles turned on, and then we're going to open up our oxygen down here, and you can open that up all the way. Then this fuel here, you're just going to crack just a little bit. Now the oxygen, while I've got it turned on all the way here, there's another knob here that's blocking the oxygen. So we're going to use this to adjust the oxygen to get the flame that we want. So right now we've just got the oxygen turned on here, but it's being blocked by this valve here. We're just going to crack this acetylene and light it. You can see that black smoke coming off of there. We want to adjust the acetylene so we do not have that. We're going to give it just a little bit more. You want a lazy flame with the kind of feathered tips out there, but you don't want to see a lot of that smoke being produced. Once you got that, we're going to add our oxygen. Just very little. Just turn it on. You can see the flame changing. And as you can see in this picture here, the finely defined cones that are coming off the tip of this tip here, and you want it to come off for about 1/4 of an inch, just about 1/4 of an inch of those very defined cones, and you should be ready to go. Alright, Coon Dog's going to go ahead and do some cutting on this tank. We've already got one cut made over here. Not the prettiest cut in the world. Cutting with these torches really takes a lot of practice. And it was my cut that wasn't so pretty, just so we're clear. First thing he's going to do is come up and he's going to just preheat the area where he's getting ready to cut. Just leaving that flame on there for a second. This is a fairly thin steel or metal material. It doesn't take long to preheat. If you're doing like an I-beam or something, it takes a little bit more. Coon Dog's already cutting significantly better than I did, so he's cutting nice and straight. He's taking his time. That's a big thing, is just taking your time and letting that cut through the metal. One thing that he's doing that seems to be working a little better than what I did was he's angling that into the cut, and it seems to be giving him a little bit better control, where I was dragging mine backwards across the cut, and I got much more of a jagged edge and a lot more stoppages where I had to start and stop again. If you're doing it on these water heaters and that insulation's catching fire, be careful not to breathe in that nasty smoke. Good job. All right, now we're going to do some work with the K12, and you can see the prop that we got set up. We used the prop that Ed and his guys had made a while back. I found this chair in this scrap pile over there, and just happened to be that it fit perfectly into these two slots, so that's pretty sweet. But what we're going to do here is just do some cutting, simulate that we're doing some cutting on maybe some bars on windows or what have you. So the K12 is a big heavy saw, and in addition to the big heavy saw, once that blade gets moving, you guys know that it really wants to swing on you. It's got a little kick to it. Some serious RPMs there, so you want to make sure that you are controlling that saw. Okay. One of the things I talked about at FDIC was not to be cutting like this. You won't be using your arms and your shoulders like that. You're going to run out of energy really quick. What the guy kept saying when we were doing the drill at the hands-on training was, just imagine you got that window cut, now you've got 11 more windows to go down and do on this building to open it up. So you want to conserve energy. The best way to do that is by keeping it nice and close to your body. Okay? It helps you to control it. Got it up against your body. Helps you to control the saw. It takes a lot less energy. You're using your body weight to do a lot of the maneuvering and so forth. The other thing is to use this whole handle. You got this handle here that's designed to be held in different positions. Sometimes, and I've been guilty of this, doing a sideways cut, holding it like this. Move your hand down here, keep it close to your body. So much easier to handle that way. Okay, so just a couple little tricks that some of you probably already know, but I thought it was kind of enlightening, just using that body of yours to hold that up against there. Some guys were even showing a technique like this. The instructor wasn't really hip on that, but he thought, you know, whatever works, I guess, but you want to have a good grip on it, one way or the other. All right, I'm gonna gear up and we're gonna cut this chair up here. All right, got the saw here. One thing I forgot to mention was the adjustability of your guard here. If you're gonna be doing an undercut on something, you can move that around like that and just cut like that, instead of having to try to flip the saw around or whatever. So work smart, not hard. One of my old bosses used to say. All right, hopefully this starts. All right, look down. so as you can see there, different positions, different areas, just adjust that hold that you've got on it. Try to find a hold that keeps it up against your body as best you can. Use that body to control it and conserve some energy for yourself. Don't forget to use the guard adjustment if it's going to be helpful for you. And I think that's about it. Okay guys, so that's it. Hopefully you found something beneficial in the last 20 minutes. A lot of it I know was refresher for all of us, but if you're like me, we need to be refreshed on these things from time to time. And maybe you found some tidbits of information there that you didn't have before, something that might be helpful to you. Either way, I appreciate you listening and watching. And come on up to Fives and do some training. We got plenty of that scrap metal out back, and it's ready to be cut up. So until then, go out, be safe, and keep training, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.